Hello, my name is Iron Pacifist, and I play a combat restricted level 3 account, Iron Man, on this game Old School RuneScape. Last time on this series, we completed the Lumberjack outfit, a outfit that was previously not possible on this account as it required prayer levels to get. But with the new update, we are now able to get it, so we went through and did that. And on this episode, we will be continue working on Thieving level to restock ourselves on seeds, which we are woefully out of for our herb runs, and continue working towards 90 Fletching. So come along on our adventures on the road to maxing a level 3 Iron Man. Getting close to this Thieving level, but just wanted to show off my Torstal stack. It's always exciting when I get enough Torstals from the farmer to run a full herb run's worth of Torstal seeds, because it doesn't happen very often. So I just want to show that off, and hopefully we get lucky with these and get a bunch. Not that they're worth very much XP, but the bank value is fun to go up. And an hour later, sliding into the last patch on this Torstal run, it is not looking very good. The average I should get is 45 herbs if all patches live, which they did this time, and I only got 40. So it's below average with those Torstal seeds. Unlucky. Bank value will not be going up quite as much as I wanted it to this time. Lamps only Slayer. Doesn't matter what the build is. 2277, Lamps only Slayer. Alright, and I successfully did not miss this level after almost missing it. But we are, of course, I got stunned right at the end. Going to come in here with 94 Thieving. Absolutely huge level on the account. Very nice bank, very nicely restocked on seeds. We're going to take a quick look at what our seed stocks look like now. I'll show you the loot tracker. You can kind of compare it to what it was a couple videos ago. I made a few mil here, but it's not exactly accurate because I do a lot of this on mobile as well, so it doesn't show everything here. But we can look at the bank and see a lot of these higher tier herb seeds I did get. Aventos, Quarms, Snaps, Lantas, all that stuff. I just end up using it so fast because pretty much as soon as I get them, I end up using them on a farm run. So those don't really tend to stack up, but these lower ones, Harlander, Ranners, Toadflax, those stack up quite nicely. That's a nice little stack of Ranners. Looking at 2 mil there. Not bad at all, and I like to empty the seed box at the end of one of these Master Farmer's grinds so we can see our nice stacks of hops and allotment seeds. Is that going to put us at, look at that, over 100k white stack potato seeds. Absolutely massive stack of potato seeds that are worth absolutely nothing. And we'll should be able to white stack the onion seeds as well before the end of my Master Farmer's grind, which will be around 97 to 98 farming, or thieving, sorry. But that is all for the criminal activity for now. We're going to go back to law-abiding citizen activities. So got all these huge stack of arrow shafts, 124,000, and got 392,000 feathers that I got to stick on them. And if we take a look at the fletching calculator, I've been considering just going straight to 90 and saying forget fletching at Wintertod because it's kind of annoying. So if I do headless arrows and I do broad arrows, I can do 2 action selected, so I'll need 272,000 arrow shafts if I do both of those, although that's not including cutting maple logs into arrow shafts, which you do get a touch of XP for. So maybe closer to 260, 270k arrow shafts. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I think I'm going to start with these ones, and once I get through these, we'll see how I feel. But we'll also need a decent amount more money because these 125k arrow shafts, broad arrow tips cost 50 GP each. So if we bring in the calculator here, 124,000 times 50, not 40. If I could type properly, that would really help me. We're going to need about 6.2 mil cash, and we only have about 4.8 mil cash. So I'm going to have to start, unfortunately, selling off the Bloodroom stack. I do have the feud completed, which was a bit of a difficult one on this account. It used to be possible with very intense manipulations, and then it was impossible, and now it's possible again. So feud is done, so I'll have to start selling off those Bloodroom stack. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stack those infinitely high like I would like to, but I think yeah, we're gonna start selling those off once I finish feathering all of these arrow shafts. So we're gonna start with that. That's gonna be the next task to do on our road to 90 fletching and to base 90s. Just those 2 skills left. Oh wow, while working on these headless arrows, we got another very nice milestone coming here. Our total XP 149,999,999. It's very nice working with something that gives 1 XP because I can make it exact. Here is 150 mil total XP on the level 3 Iron Man. That just looks great, doesn't it? 150 mil even, exactly. Now that is theoretically the minimum XP to max. This build is 200 mil, but I have so much post-max farming and woodcutting XP, and we're still getting even more farming, and will get even more woodcutting when I go for more mire fungus for herb lore. So it will not be 200 mil XP. I'm thinking maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 240, 230, 240. So we're not quite 3/4 of the way, but we're getting close. Maybe 65% of the way in total XP to max, which is not the same as time to max because construction and crafting are much slower than some other skills. So that's a very nice milestone, and I'm going to get back to making some more headless arrows. I deposited them all in the bank just so we could get that nice exact 150, but we've got 122k more to go before I can go waste all of my money on broad arrowheads. Oh, and before anyone yells at me about being inefficient, I am making headless arrows as I run through my herb runs. I'll bank stand the majority of them just because I'm too lazy to do other stuff most of the time, but when I'm doing herb runs I will be making them just for a little bit extra. Got a small milestone here. 26,000 arrow shafts done and less than 100k to go. And a slightly more important milestone here than the last one, coming in with 82 fletching, the first and only level that I will be getting with the headless arrows before we get the majority of the levels on this grind from the broad arrows. 56.8k headless arrows to go. And the last small milestone on this, we're going to drop under 50k arrow shafts to go here. Almost there. Alright, and we are putting the final feathers on the final arrow shafts here to complete this current grind. Still probably 100k shafts short of 90 fletching, but I have decided I'm going to get some XP at Wintertodt. We're going to get some logs at Wintertodt, and I'm going to do that before we come back and finish this. So we're gonna throw these up in the price checker. All these headless arrows, they're actually worth quite a bit at 8 each, so that puts us over a mil for those, which, you know, is a pretty good gain from 111k in shafts to over a mil. And actually, the more interesting one, the logs that I started with were only worth 900k, so we actually profited from even these magic logs. Ended up profiting, turning them into arrow shafts. Now I am not counting the cost of the feathers because they're pretty much free from doing birdhouse runs. Although even if you do count those, feathers are what, 1 GP each? That would still put you at 1,032k. That's still 52k profit. Although I will look. Are feathers 1 GP each? Oh, they're 2 each. Oh no. That actually puts you at a 80k loss thereabouts. Oh well. Next step is time to gather all the heads I need for these, although we're a little bit GP short first, so let's go and grab some money. Okay, before we get money, I want to make sure I don't mess anything up here and see how much I'm going to spend. So, broad arrowhead packs, these are valued at, they should be 5,500. And do they go up? They do go up. That is unfortunate. That means I'm probably going to have to hop around just to try to minimize. Although they restock very quickly. Actually, I guess by the time you open all of these, are they restocked by the time I open this whole inventory? Let's just find that out together real quick. And open the whole inventory and trade her again. And okay, they're fully restocked. And what do they go down to? 56.21 is the highest price they go up to. So I will average that out from 5,500 to 56.21. So that's 120 coins difference. So that means the average is going to be about 60 coins more than this. So 55.60 will be the average doing it this way. And then let's make sure I didn't mess up. And I actually do have broader fletching unlocked. Fantastic. There we go. These are our first set of broad arrows made on the account. These levels are going to come flying in now that I can start making these. So let's go sell off the blood runes and make sure I have enough money, and then we'll come back and buy a shitload of arrowheads. Okay, and used our glory mounted to get to Al Kharid on purpose for, I think, the first time. I do it by accident all the time, and I think this is the first time I actually wanted to come to Al Kharid with that glory since I got it. So we are here in Ali Morissane's shop. These are worth 200 and they don't change, right? These are still worth 200. So I calculated out that we will need 6.8 mil GP to buy up all the broad arrowheads that I need at that rate of about 55.69 each, buying them out and waiting for the restock. It's a little bit higher than what I said before because I had a bunch of crap in my inventory. So I cleaned out the inventory and that's what it should be on average. But I also need GP for getting around, doing farm runs. I use charter ships. So I'll add on another 0.5 mil and round it up and call it 7.5 mil. So we'll see how many of these blood runes I need to sell to get up to 7.5 mil cash stack. So we're starting at 116k, and let's see how many we're left with. Very sad day for me. I've been enjoying keeping this stack for a long time. Alright, that was very fast. We are at 7.499, and if we sell 5 more blood runes, that will put us at 7.5 million and 1 coins. Not sure how I managed to get that so exact, but somehow I did. And we only had to sell off just shy of 16k, because there was 100 in here, so 15.8k blood runes. Not as bad as I thought. I thought I was going to have to sell off like half this stack, so I'm pretty happy with that. That only took like a minute or two to do. And yeah, we're good on those, on cash now, so it's back to Cristelia to dump all that into her. That sounded weird, but you know what I mean. Alright, back with Cristelia, and the goal here is 132,193 broad arrowheads. So I just grabbed the ones that we already bought, just so I can keep track of them. I'm not really sure how I ended up with such a weird number of headless arrows. These are supposed to be made in sets of 15. Oh well, not sure what's going on there. But we're going to trade her. I've got all this set up with shift click. So shift click buys 50. And then I set the shift click on these to open. And the reason for that is that there is a anti-drag plugin. So I have this set to anti-drag when the shift key is pressed, and then I set these to shift click open, so I can just hold shift and run down here and not have to worry about accidentally dragging these around the inventory, although I do still miss them quite often because I'm very bad apparently. Good to know. But it just helps to, you know, I mean, you could also not change your shift click to open and instead disable this, and just now you just have anti-drag on, although I prefer not to do that because there's other things that I like to I should probably change her left click quickly to trade, because I do not need an assignment right now. I already have a good assignment, so I want to waste all of my money on these arrowheads, and we'll be back when I have 132,193. or more, because they buy in sets of 15 or 50, I guess. Over here, buying out the broad arrows, almost done. This guy comes up in his cute noob outfit, drops me any advice. I don't know what to give him. I don't know what advice to give him. Yeah, Slayer makes good money late game, but early game is slow. I like skilling. I don't know what else to say to this guy. What advice would you give him? Look at my stats. This is the guy he's asking. I have level 3 combat. I don't know anything about Slayer. Anyway, I realized while buying these arrowheads that you can buy individual ones. So I bought exactly 100 less than we need, and here's the last broad arrowhead pack. And there we go. We have our 132, 193 broad arrowheads. Feels good. Let's do Vanica Slayer. Feels good to get that over with, and we're gonna give a quick price check to that. Spent nearly 7 mil GP, it looks like, on these arrowheads, and they are worth a GE value of 6.3, so that's a nice 650k loss there. But I'll add in our headless arrows so that we can see. These are worth 7.4 mil, and then we'll be able to see after I add tips to all of these arrows how much they are worth then. But here, I'm gonna come hang out with this cute noob over here, and him and I are gonna do the outro together. Because this video is starting to get long, and I think that's about where we're going to call it. This episode, we got a big thieving level on the account, a fletching level, finished all of these headless arrows, got the broad arrowheads, and looks like we're ready to start going on that hard, big fletching grind. So get ready for that next episode. But until then, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.